Hello, I'm Seth Johnson with Land to House. So in this video blog, I'm going to be discussing something that was pretty cool. I was given the opportunity to go with the guys I work with to the Dillinger grist mill. It's the last one in operation in North Carolina, and the fellow that was running it, it's been passed down through the family members since the 1860s. This guy's name was Jack Dillinger. Very fascinating guy. He talked about growing up in the mountains of North Carolina, plowing the rocks to plant corn, and his descendants, is that the word? Anyway, his family had passed down this mill, and so he didn't really want to run the mill. So he decided to go to high school and college. It turns out he was one of the 6 men to program the Saturn V, which is what sent the first astronauts to the moon. So this backwoods fellow is brilliant. He worked in the wars for aviation and all kinds of stuff. It just makes me think about all these people that consider these mountain people to be backwoods and ignorant. But there's another fellow that also worked on that 6-man team that runs an apple orchard just down the road in Little Switzerland. There's a fellow just down from my parents' house who invented the artificial knee. So I guess those stereotypes of those backwoods mountain people might be a little bit wrong. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this footage and pictures of the only grist mill operating in North Carolina.
This is so fascinating. I should have bought my camera. Recently, and this is the guy that helped invent the software for the space shuttle.
Wow. That's incredible.
That what you said while ago. Oh, there are 3 things that make this place unique. Number 1, it went into the National Register of Historic Places in November 1998 as the last grist mill of its kind left in the state of North Carolina. Now the reason for that, it's that old water. My great-grandpa Reuben bought that water wheel from the Fitz Water Wheel Company in April 1859. So that water wheel is over 150 years old. And nothing has ever turned that millstone in there except that one water wheel. Now, when I was growing up, right up here across the road, and some of you may remember, in Mitchell County, I think there were probably over 100 grist. Yeah. There had to be, everybody had a corn, and you had to get your cornmeal and whatever. And usually, well, almost nobody had a car. You either carried a bushel of corn over your shoulder, or you threw it up behind the horse, on a horse behind you, and went to the nearest grist mill. So grist mills were in just about every community. Little Rock Creek has one, Big Rock Creek. There were two in Bakersfield. Yeah. And Mr. Meister's had the only flour mill in Mitchell County. That is Babbitt. Babbitt is a mixture of lead, tin, and zinc. It's what they use for bearings. And even the old T-model car is Babbitt bearings. Well, everything is Babbitt, including this mill. Well, the downside of that, or the good thing is it'll melt real easily. But if you turn that water wheel real fast, fast enough to grind corn, it will melt your bearings. You don't want that. Well, I checked all those bearings, all 7 of them were right. So I called up my cousin Ray. I knew Ray had been an iron worker. I said, Ray, when's the last time you poured Babbitt? He thought for a minute. Jack, I believe I was in high school. And I said, I was too. We got our job cut out for us. You come up here and we're going to pour Babbitt. Well, that means the load here is turning 40. And that pulley with the belt on it is turning 40. But it goes in there and wraps around a little wooden axle like that. Brings it up to 150, 200 RPM. And it'll sometimes shake the building. But anyway, you can grind what makes the best cornbread, grits, and stuff like that. Well, let's go inside and I'll show you how it works, and then we'll grind real fast. Well, underneath this cover is a 3-foot diameter, 18-inch deep mill stick. And I was grinding a little corn this morning. Find my stick. But anyway, that's the one that turns 150 to 200 RPM. And underneath there's the bedstone. The bedstone's level with the floor, and it doesn't move. It just says, well, on the top, the bottom of that top stone, the bottom stone, there's a set of grooves, like on that little bitty stone over there. So when a grain of corn falls down between those two stones, it's like a million little pair of scissors cutting it in two, and centrifugal force brings it to the outside and down into the bucket here. Now then, there are 3 ways to control a milling process. One's the amount of water you give the water wheel. I control it from the gate up there. Number 2, you can control how much corn's going to fall at any given time. If you tighten up that strap, it raises the shoe, you get fewer grains of corn. But the most important adjustment of all is a little turnstile here. And that was developed by my great-grandpa Reuben, who went through the 4th grade, and he's a better engineer than me. But what that does, if you turn it clockwise, you can lift that top stone while it's running, adjust the distance between those two stones, and that way you come up with either cornmeal, or grist, or polenta. And right now, because getting ready to start it up, I've got them pretty far apart, And that's the reason I held this bucket here. This is the one at the end of the day that I go out there and feed the trout because it's too coarse for people to eat. And I come over here and I start lowering that stone until I can tell by feel whether we're going around cornmeal or grist or flume. Okay, this is my measuring clock.
That is really cool. That is so cool.
Okay, that'll turn it pretty good.
That is so cool.
It's going down a little bit. Have that much rain. You can see the corn growing.
Would you mind if I step up?
Let's get ready to ask him that today. Yeah, we'll see. Smells good.
They're cheaper at like a brush of teeth. Or a lot of them did snow.
Wally. Hey, Wally. Hey. Where are you? Found me. Yeah. He's getting along pretty good in the woods now. So, as you may know, since you've been following the channel, I have built my own flume back here, hopefully to one day make some hydroelectric energy. But I actually went to that grist mill and took some pictures years ago, and that's kind of what I used to make my design back here. Anyway, kind of some fun stuff. Thanks for watching. I'm Seth Johnson with Land House, and I will see you next time. Bye.